felt like a boneless doll in his arms, her body still trembling from the storm of sensations earlier. Jungkook. Do you want anything to eat, baby? Nin. Weakly shaking her head, I just want to sleep. He gave her a small, dark chuckle, as if she were the cutest thing he'd ever seen. Without another word, he walked into the bedroom, setting her down gently. He smoothed the covers, fluffing the pillows, making the bed pristine as though preparing it for a queen. Once satisfied, he helped her lie down, her back instinctively facing him. She let out a soft, exhausted sigh, her hair splayed across the pillow, her small body curled slightly inward. Jungkook climbed in behind her, careful not to startle her. His long, warm arms settled around her, one hand trailing lightly across her tiny stomach, circling and massaging in slow, deliberate motions. The heat of him pressed into her back, comforting, possessive, yet gentle, and felt herself relax into him, the tension from before slowly melting. She could feel the strength of his chest against her back, the warmth of his thighs pressing lightly against hers. His fingers traced small, lazy patterns over her skin, teasing, soothing, reminding her that he was there and that she was his. Jungkook, softly, almost a whisper, "You're mine, baby. Just rest. I've got you," and let out a soft hum, letting herself sink into his touch. Every circle of his hand on her stomach, every subtle press against her back, made her feel grounded, cherished, and achingly close to him. She felt safe in his arms, even as a shiver of heat ran through her body from the lingering memories of earlier. Jungkook's other hand found hers, fingers intertwining, keeping her anchored to him. He pressed a gentle kiss to the back of her shoulder, murmuring against her skin, letting her feel the quiet obsession and warmth he carried for her. In's eyes fluttered closed, her breath evening out, feeling like she could finally let go. Her mind swam in the haze of post-passion, but the firm, steady presence of Jungkook behind her kept her tethered. Jungkook, sleep well, baby. I'll be right here when you wake. Her body relaxed fully into him, her small frame fitting perfectly against his, and for the first time in hours, she let herself truly rest, feeling the quiet intimacy of being held by the one person who consumed her thoughts completely. Time skip. It was past midnight. Jungkook stirred in the bed, feeling something warm pressing against him. His eyes snapped open. Jungkook, whispering, worried, "In." He realized her forehead was burning against his chest, her small body shivering despite the blankets. Panic and protectiveness flared in him instantly. Jungkook, gently shaking her shoulder, "Baby, wake up, you're burning up." In. Groaning weakly, "Jungkook, I feel so hot." Jungkook ran a wet cloth over her forehead, then her arms and legs, murmuring soothing words the entire time. Jungkook, softly, almost to himself, "Come on, baby, breathe. You'll be fine." Even after the cold compress, her fever didn't go down. He paced for a moment, then grabbed his phone. Jungkook, muttering, "I need Jimin." He dialed. The first call went straight to voicemail. Jungkook, gritting his teeth, "Damn it." He dialed again, louder this time. Jimin, groggy, annoyed Jungkook, "What the hell? It's midnight. Why are you calling me?" Jungkook, panicked, trying to stay calm, "It's Yuen. She's burning up." Jimin, half asleep, irritated, "Then call a doctor, idiot." Jungkook, frustrated, throwing his head back at the doctor. "It's midnight. Do you think I can just..." Suddenly, Jimin snapped awake, now fully alert. Jimin, sharp what? How did she get a fever at this hour? Jungkook, explain. Jungkook, stuttering slightly, tense it. You'll understand when you're married. There was a brief silence on the line before Jimin's expression softened, realizing what Jungkook meant. Teasingly, I get it now. Go easy on her, Jungkook. She's young. Jungkook, grumbling, defensive, shut up. She's burning. What am I supposed to do now? Jimin, half laughing, half serious, text me. I'll tell you what medicine to give her. Feed her first and wipe her with wet rolling his eyes, muttering, "Damn it. Why is he always so annoying?" Jimin, laughing through the phone because someone has to keep you from panicking, Chin. Jungkook smirked, despite himself, feeling a mix of frustration and relief. He glanced at Yen, her face pale but peaceful as she murmured in her sleep, "Jungkook, softly, too, you don't worry, baby. Jimin's telling me exactly what to do. You're safe." There was a moment of quiet between the two friends, their playful banter and underlying care cutting through the tension of the night. As Jungkook wrapped Yen snugly in blankets and started preparing the medicine as Jimin instructed, Jungkook, low, commanding, "All right, lie down. Let me take care of you." Ween, weakly, eyes fluttering, Jungkook, I just want to sleep." Jungkook, softly but firm, "Sleep comes after I make sure you're all right." He gently set her on the bed, her back against the soft sheets. Her gaze flicked to him, wide and vulnerable, like a delicate, fragile flower trembling in his hands. The sight made something stir deep in him, a mixture of desire and protectiveness. Without a word, Jungkook's hands went to her shirt. Slowly, deliberately, he unbuttoned it, one button at a time, letting the fabric fall open to reveal the soft curve of her chest. His eyes didn't just look, he devoured every inch, scanning the heat on her skin, the little shivers running across her body. CNYN, Tessalus, a soft gasp escaping Jungkook. "Don't." Jungkook, dark, husky, she. "I'm just taking care of you." He picked up a warm, damp cloth, and his fingers traced her fevered skin, starting from her collarbone down to her chest. He wiped gently, but with dominance in every movement, guiding her, owning the space around her. He leaned close, letting his lips brush against the side of her neck as he pressed the cloth to her skin, eliciting a soft shiver from her. Jungkook, whispering, low and possessive, "You're so delicate, so fragile. I need to make sure nothing hurts you." In, weakly, voice trembling, I feel. Jungkook, dominant but tender, leaning closer, she. "I've got you, every inch. Just stay still, baby." His hands moved with careful precision, wiping her stom plus ok, tracing the gentle lines of her wa plus ist, sliding over her soft skin. Each touch was deliberate, lingering just long enough to make her pulse spike, teasing without overtly crossing the line. Her body, feverish and fragile, responded instinctively, arching toward him, pressing against the warmth of his hand and his body. Jungkook, soft chuckle, low even fever, "Can't hide how perfect you are for me." He lingered over her stom, plus Oz, gently massaging in slow circles with the damp cloth, his thumb brushing lightly over her hips. Nguyen's lips parted, a soft moan Pleston slipping out, half from her fever, half from the tension coiling between them. Tien, shivering, whispering, "Jungkook, you're too much." Jungkook, dark, husky, lips grazing her ear, "I'm exactly what you need, Mia Amori, and I'll take care of every part of you." He pressed a gentle kiss to her temple, then along her jaw, letting the heat of his mouth trail down her neck. His hands continued to circle and soothe, dominant yet soft, guiding her, making her feel both protected and exposed, cherished and utterly his. And closed her eyes, surrendering to the warmth of his hands and the intensity of his presence, feeling simultaneously cared for, tremulously fragile, and stirred in ways she couldn't yet name. Jungkook, whispering, husky, "So small, so fragile. Every shiver of yours is mine to feel." Yen, breathless, trembling, "Jungkook, please, I feel." He leaned down, lips brushing her temple, then her knee plus CK, letting the heat of his MO plus the H trail across her skin as his hands pressed lightly against her sides, massaging gently but possessively. She let out a soft, involuntary mo plus an on, and he paused, looking down at her flushed face. Jungkook, dark, low chuckle, "Even when you're sick, you're mine. Every inch." Yen, soft gasp, "You're too much." He leaned back slightly, letting the cloth drip warmth across her hips, then paused and gazed at her, his eyes smoldering with something both protective and darkly teasing. Her small, fevered form seemed so fragile beneath him, Yet every breath she took made him ache with a controlled, restrained need. The soft click of the door made them both look up. The maid entered quietly, holding a tray with a bowl of steaming soup and a small bottle of medicine. "Maid, sir?" "Miss, the soup and medicine, as requested." Jungkook. Gruff. "Low, leave it there." The maid hesitated, noticing how close he was to Yen. Her shirt opened slightly from the earlier care, then quickly set the tray on the bedside table and backed away. Yen weakly flushed and embarrassed Jungkook. They saw Jungkook. Dominant husky whisper, brushing a strand of hair from her forehead. "Doesn't matter. I only care about you right now." He leaned back slightly, letting the warmth of his hand rest over her tiny waist again, brushing against her sides as he gestured toward the soup. Jungkook, soft, commanding, "Eat a little. Take the medicine. I'll stay right here." Yang obediently sat up slightly, allowing him to help her with the spoon. Every movement was careful, his fingers occasionally brushing her skin as he guided the food to her lips. She couldn't help but notice how strong and deliberate his hands were, how he dominated the space around her while being gentle with her fragile, fevered body. Yen, softly, teasing despite herself. "Even when I'm sick, you don't stop." Jungkook. Low, possessive smile. "I don't. I can't. You're too tempting, too delicate. I have to be close to you." The room hummed with the heat beyond the fever itself. She ate slowly, letting him help her, every brush of his fingers making her shiver. His presence alone was intoxicating, dominant, possessive, yet caring in a way that made her feel both treasured and achingly exposed. After a few bites and the medicine, he helped her lie back down, arranging the blankets over her and resting a warm hand against her tiny, trembling stomach. Jungkook, soft, husky sleep now. "I'll stay right here, keep you safe." And eyes half-lidded, feeling comforted yet heated by his touch. Jungkook, "You're impossible." Jungkook, chuckling low, brushing a strand of hair from her face. "I know, and you love it." Her pulse slowed, the fever slightly soothed by his touch, but the tension of his presence left her feeling both exhausted and electrified. In the quiet of the room, surrounded by warmth and subtle desire, and allowed herself to drift, fragile and cared for, under the watchful, possessive gaze of Jungkook. The next morning, Jungkook sat at his laptop, the dim morning light filtering through the curtains. His coffee sat untouched beside him as he typed, focused, until his phone buzzed. He picked it up and saw the caller ID. "Jungkook, hello, sir." The voice on the other end was familiar, firm, yet slightly anxious. "Din's father, Jungkook." "How is Yen?" Jungkook's gaze instinctively drifted toward the bed. His wife was sleeping soundly, a soft blanket draped over her waist, long hair spilling over the pillow like a dark waterfall. She lay on her stomach, her chest pressed lightly against the mattress, her face hidden from view. Jungkook. Calmly, "She's fine. Slept well. Win's father. I called you last night, but you didn't pick up." Jungkook felt his ears burn, his thoughts momentarily tripping over the memory of last night. Jungkook, clearing his throat, a faint redness on his neck. Sorry, sir, I was busy with a matter here at home. In's father. Suspicious, I see. Also, I heard about the incident at college. What happened?" Jungkook's posture straightened, his voice firm, precise, exuding the cold dominance he had shown the day before. "Jungkook, I handled it. Those girls and their parents were trying to stir trouble. They've crossed their limit. The girl involved has been expelled. The situation is fully resolved, and there's no need for further concern." "Win's father," pausing, then softer. "Good. I trust you to look after her, Jungkook. She's still young, and..." Jungkook, cutting in, smooth, controlled, "Sir, you don't need to worry. She's in good hands. I'll make sure she's safe, physically, academically, and otherwise." He glanced back at the bed, his eyes briefly meeting the curve of her back and the slight rise and fall of her breathing. A protective warmth mingled with his usual possessive tension. Jungkook, after a beat, "Anything else, sir?" "In's father. Reluctantly, no. That's all." Thank you, Jungkook. I appreciate your care for her. Jungkook, you're welcome, sir. She's precious. He ended the call, setting the phone down with a soft exhale. His fingers brushed over the table, but his mind remained on the bed. YN's fragile sleeping form, so innocent and delicate after last night, made him shift slightly. The heat from yesterday lingering in memory. He leaned back, eyes on her, thinking of how vulnerable and trusting she was in his care. A small, dark smirk tugged at the corner of his lips. Jungkook, muttering to himself, my fragile, delicate flower. I'll always protect you, and no one will ever hurt you. For a moment, he allowed himself a rare pause. The mix of satisfaction, possessiveness, and fondness curling around him like a quiet storm. All while YN slept peacefully, unaware of the world or of just how deeply Jungkook's gaze and thoughts were wrapped around her. Morning after, VN slowly blinked awake, the soft light from the window casting a warm glow across the room. Her body still ached from the intensity of last night, every muscle tingling, every nerve alive. She hugged the blanket closer to her, feeling the faint memory of him pressing against her, his hands, his mouth. Why? And thinking, God, I can't believe I was the one who approached him first. Last night, it was so intense. So, me? Did I really? Her cheeks burned at the thought, heat rushing up her neck as she buried her face deeper into the pillow. Her pulse quickening despite the lingering drowsiness. Her heart thumped like it wanted to escape her chest, and her body still tingled, every memory of his touch flashing vividly. Just then, the bed shifted slightly, and she felt a familiar weight settle behind her. Jungkook. Low, teasing, yet soft morning, Mia. Still thinking about last night? And stiffened slightly, trying to keep her embarrassment hidden. But his hand slid around her waist, gentle yet firm, pulling her closer. Yin, murmuring, flustered, I shouldn't have. Jungkook, nuzzling her neck, voice husky, shouldn't have what? Come closer to me? Let me hold you. She shivered at the warmth of his breath on her neck, the faint scrape of his stubble sending tingles down her spine. She tried to look away, but he tilted her chin up with his hand, forcing her to meet his dark, smoldering gaze. When thinking, he's so calm, yet everything about him is dangerous and intoxicating. Jungkook, you don't have to hide from me, Mia. You're mine. Completely. With that, he lifted her gently onto his lap, her back against his chest, his arms wrapping securely around her. The softness of his embrace contrasted with the heat simmering between them. The lingering tension from their intimate night still electric in the air. His lips brushed her temple, down her neck, and finally hovered near her ear. Jungkook, whispering, you're trembling, delicate little flower. Yen's breath hitched, a soft gasp escaping as his nose brushed against her neck, teasing, claiming. She wanted to protest, to pull away, but the warmth, the security, the dark magnetism of him holding her made her freeze, every nerve alive. One thinking, even now, after everything, I can't. I don't want to. He has me. Completely. He placed a tender kiss on her shoulder, then her neck, tracing slow, deliberate paths with his lips. His hands massaged her sides lightly, lingering over her small frame, gentle yet full of possessive intent. Jungkook, I'll take care of you today, Mia. Just let me. Her body melted against him, still exhausted from the night's intensity, yet every part of her senses screamed for him. His presence, the soft warmth of his body, the dominant yet tender way he held her, it left her dizzy, flushed, and completely undone. They stayed like that for a long moment, the quiet intimacy of the morning wrapping around them, her embarrassment softened by the safety of his arms, his careful, deliberate attention. The world outside didn't exist. There was only him, only her, and the lingering tension from their night together, both intoxicating and comforting. Time skip 1 week later. YN Jungkook's office after college. The late afternoon sunlight filters through the tall windows, casting long shadows over the sleek, polished furniture. Papers are scattered over his desk, laptop open, but Jungkook's attention snaps immediately when he sees her. Jungkook. Without looking up, voice low, "Come here." Ween's heartbeat quickens as she steps closer. Jungkook, gesturing toward his lap, "Sit." Ween hesitates for a second, then carefully settles on his lap, feeling the heat of his body through his shirt. Jungkook's hands rest lightly on her waist, strong and possessive. Jungkook, leaning in, lips brushing hers, "Don't move." Vin winces slightly as his lip piercing grazes hers, sending an unexpected thrill through her. Yen, softly, breathless, "Ah." Jungkook smirks and takes her bottom lip gently between his teeth, tugging softly, then releases her with deliberate slowness. Jungkook, voice husky, "Teasing better?" Vian blushes, biting her lower lip, and shifts slightly, brushing her hand along his chest. He watches every subtle movement, his mind already wandering to darker, possessive thoughts. Wen stands up and begins to wander the office, her fingers trailing over the polished wood of the shelves, over the leather-bound books, and the framed photographs. She pauses to admire a painting, her body swaying slightly with each movement. Jungkook's gaze follows her, darkening with desire. Jungkook thinking, what if she traced herself on me, like she did in that showpiece? God, I can't. I want her now. He leans back in his chair, a smirk tugging at his lips, one hand subtly brushing over her hip when she passes close to his lap. His mind races with anticipation, imagining her teasing him, imagining her scent, her warmth, her touch. You aren't playfully teasing, you're staring. Jungkook, voice low, dangerous am I? Or am I imagining something much more interesting? And feels heat rush to her cheeks as she notices the intensity in his eyes. The air between them thickens with a charged tension,